stage play.
การบริการในร้านอาหารมันเหมือนการแสดงละครเวทีเลยนะคะ
That is a brilliant way to frame it.
Yeah, it has distinct acts, a specific script, and if an actor misses a cue, the whole illusion just falls apart.
Absolutely. And the curtain rises the absolute second a guest crosses the threshold. The first impression is everything.
It sets the tone for the next 2 hours. Exactly. The sources provide very clear model dialogues for this opening sequence. We see greetings like, "Good evening, welcome to Ocean View Restaurant."
Right. Very standard, very polite. And then the document suggests asking, "Do you have a reservation?" Followed by, "Under what name was the reservation made?"
Yes, that is the standard procedure.
I have to be honest here. I was looking at that specific phrase, and it sounds incredibly stiff. ถ้ามีพนักงานเดินมาถามดุจประโยคเต็มยศขนาดนี้ I might feel like I am checking into a corporate seminar, not a relaxing dinner.
I can see how it might feel a bit formal.
ทำไมพนักงานถึงไม่ควรถามแบบเป็นกันเองไปเลยว่า What is your name? It feels so much more human, you know?
It might seem more human on the surface, yes, but there is a very deliberate psychological strategy behind that phrasing.
Really? A strategy just for asking a name?
Oh, definitely. If a host asks, "What is your name?" it can unintentionally come off as an interrogation. It is a direct challenge to personal identity.
Ah, I see.
However, asking, "Under what name was the reservation made?" creates a polite psychological distance. It shifts the focus away from the individual and onto the administrative detail of the booking system.
อ๋อเข้าใจแล้วค่ะมันเป็นการเว้นระยะห่างอย่างสุภาพเหมือนเวลาเราเดินเข้างานกาล่าแล้วมีคนขอดูบัตรเชิญเข้างาน VIP มันให้ความรู้สึกให้เกียรติและดูแพงกว่าการโดนสุ่มตรวจบัตรประชาชนริมถนน
That is a perfect analogy. It elevates the person standing in front of you.
So it is not stiff, it is respectful.
Precisely. It is about establishing immediate respect and professionalism. The documents highlight a whole category of polite expressions for this exact reason.
Things like certainly or of course.
Yes, and my pleasure. When a host uses these tools, they are taking control of the narrative. Imagine a host saying, "Certainly, let me check. Yes, Mr. Smith, a table for 4, please follow me."
Oh, wow.
They are projecting absolute competence.
Exactly. The guest immediately relaxes because they know they are in capable hands.
And part of that competence is how they navigate the physical space. The vocabulary list includes things like reservation, available, window seat, and booth.
Right, the logistics of the room.
And I noticed the script heavily features offering choices, like, would you prefer a window seat or a booth? Giving them that tiny micro-decision right at the beginning.
It makes the guest feel like they are directing the experience, even though the host is actually leading them.
It is the illusion of control, beautifully executed. It really is. And once the choice is made, the physical transition happens. The host uses a guiding phrase like, "Right this way, please," or "Please follow me, here's your table."
And then they don't just hover there, right?
No, they present the menu and step away with, "I'll give you a few minutes to look over the menu. I'll be back shortly to take your order."
Which is such a crucial breather. So the guests are seated, they feel like VIPs, and they are comfortable.
The first act is complete.
But a comfortable guest isn't necessarily a hungry, decisive guest yet. How does a server pivot from being a welcoming host to essentially becoming a salesperson without ruining that carefully crafted, elegant vibe?
That pivot is where a server transforms into a culinary guide. The sources provide excellent phrases for this menu presentation phase.
So they don't just say, "What do you want to eat?"
Never. Instead of just asking what people want, they use introductory offers like, "May I recommend our signature dish?" or "Today's special is grilled salmon."
I see. But I want to push back a little on the beverage recommendations mentioned in the text.
Oh, what caught your eye?
It suggests phrases like, "May I recommend a glass of white wine?" or "Sparkling water is also a popular choice." I will admit, whenever a server immediately pushes sparkling water, I assume they are just trying to pad the bill.
Ah, the classic upsell suspicion.
Exactly.
มันให้ความรู้สึกเหมือนกำลังโดนยัดเยียดขายของหรือเปล่าคะ
It is easy to view it cynically as just an upsell, but in fine dining, it serves a much deeper structural purpose.
A structural purpose? Like what?
Suggesting sparkling water or a specific white wine is about curating the palate. Sparkling water cleanses the taste buds, physically preparing the mouth for complex flavors.
Whoa, I never thought about it like that.
By offering it, the server is subtly communicating, we take our food seriously here, and we want you to experience it optimally.
Wow. Okay, framing it as palate preparation does change the perspective. It is suggestive selling, yes, but framed entirely as a service to the diner's experience.
Exactly. It shows they are anticipating needs before the guest even realizes they have them.
And speaking of anticipation, let's talk about how the food is actually described. I noticed the documents focus heavily on passive voice structures.
Right. Things like it's served with or it's topped with.
Exactly. Also, it's cooked in and it's made from. Why the passive voice?
This is a critical linguistic tool. It allows the server to center the dish, not the chef or the kitchen. The focus is entirely on the food on the plate.
That makes total sense.
But more importantly, the document pairs these passive structures with highly specific cooking adjectives. We are talking about words like steamed, roasted, vegetarian, and grilled.
And this is where the sensory psychology kicks in. คำศัพท์พวกนี้ไม่ได้แค่ทำหน้าที่บอกข้อมูลนะคะแต่มันทำงานกับประสาทสัมผัสโดยตรงเลย
It paints a picture, doesn't it?
It really does. Think about the difference between hearing, we have a cooked salmon with vegetables, versus our signature dish is a grilled salmon topped with a lemon butter sauce and served with seasonal roasted vegetables.
The second one is an experience.
Yes. Just hearing the word grilled triggers olfactory memories. You can almost smell the char and the smoke. It makes the mouth water in a way that the word cooked simply cannot.
You're painting a vivid, appetizing picture in the mind of the diner. The model dialogue illustrates this perfectly.
So they are essentially telling a story about the food.
Precisely. When a guest asks about a dish, the server doesn't just list ingredients. They provide a sensory preview.
And they also preempt anxieties.
Preempts anxieties.
Like allergies?
That is part of it. But also flavor profiles. If a guest asks, is it spicy? The suggested response is, not at all. It's lightly seasoned.
Ah, that instant reassurance keeps the guest in a positive, relaxed state. They don't have to worry about a surprise burning sensation.
Exactly. All right, so the picture is painted, the guests are practically drooling, and the pitch worked.
But capturing that order is a whole different ballgame. One slipped word here, and that beautifully described meal turns into a kitchen nightmare.
Yes, we are moving into the actual ordering phase. This is Act 3.
Which feels like the most dangerous part of the play.
It is the operational core of the interaction. Precision is paramount here. The language shifts from descriptive to highly functional.
So no more poetry about roasted vegetables.
Right. It starts with a clear prompt. May I take your order? Or, are you ready to order? And then it requires drilling down into the specifics, using targeted vocabulary.
Like asking, how would you like your steak cooked? Rare, medium, or well done?
Exactly. No assumptions can be made.
And there is that vital safety question in the sources. Do you have any food allergies? I love how this entire sequence operates.
It is very structured.
การทวนออเดอร์ของพนักงานเสิร์ฟเนี่ยบริบทมันคล้ายกับการทำงานของหอควบคุมการบินหรือ Air Traffic Control มากเลยนะคะ
That is a phenomenal comparison.
They are managing chaotic variables and every single word has to be exact to prevent a disaster.
Absolutely. In a loud, chaotic restaurant kitchen, there is zero room for ambiguity. Just like a pilot wouldn't just say, yeah, sure, to a runway clearance. A server shouldn't be casual with a food order.
So how do they confirm it safely?
The model dialogue emphasizes the confirmation step heavily. After the guest orders a grilled chicken and an iced tea, the server responds, certainly. I'll repeat your order. 1 grilled chicken with mashed potatoes and 1 iced tea. Is that correct?
Is that correct? That little question transfers the responsibility of the final confirmation back to the guest.
It is a safety net for everyone involved.
But let me ask you about that word, certainly. It appears over and over again in the text.
It is a very important word in hospitality.
Personally, I kind of like it when a server says, sure thing, or you got it. It feels friendly. ทำไมเอกสารเหล่านี้ถึงเน้นย้ำในใช้คำว่า certainly แทนคำว่า okay หรือ all right?
Because friendliness does not guarantee accuracy. Sure thing or okay are casual agreements. They belong in a living room, not a dining room.
So it is about setting a standard.
Exactly. Certainly, in a hospitality context, is a verbal contract. It tells the guest, I have heard your request perfectly. It is within my power to execute it, and it will be done exactly as you expect.
Wow, that is a lot of weight for one word.
It establishes a professional boundary that actually makes the guest feel safer than casual friendliness does.
It is a verbal guarantee. I really like that. So the order is locked in with a certainly, and the server adds a polite suggestive cell like, would you like to add a soup?
Right. Catching any last-minute additions.
And if declined, they wrap it up with, thank you, your order will be ready shortly. The kitchen does its magic.
But when that plate finally leaves the kitchen, the dynamic completely shifts again. We enter Act 4.
It does. Once the food is ready, the server transitions from being a meticulous order taker to a caretaker.
The focus during the delivery is purely on safety, comfort, and enjoyment.
The expressions are brief but impactful, like, here's your order, enjoy your meal.
And crucially,
please be careful, the plate is hot.
Which demonstrates immediate practical care for the guest's physical well-being. But here is a detail from the source text that really made me laugh.
Oh, which part?
In the model dialogue, after the food is served, there is a specific stage direction. It says, in parentheses, 10 minutes later, how is everything?
Yes, the 10-minute rule. ทำไมต้องระบุเจาะจงว่า10 นาทีด้วยคะ? I mean, I can't stand it when a server asks me, how is the food? The exact millisecond I put a giant piece of steak into my mouth.
It is a universal frustration. You're just sitting there chewing, trying to nod.
Exactly. ลูกค้าต้องการเวลาเพื่อซึมซับรสชาติ. It takes a few bites to even realize if a steak is undercooked or if a soup needs more salt.
And that is exactly why the 10-minute rule exists in these training materials. It is the delicate art of timing.
So they are taught specifically to wait?
Yes. If a server interrupts immediately, the guest is chewing, they haven't experienced the full flavor profile, and it creates an incredibly awkward social interaction. They are forced to nod and give a thumbs up while choking down unchewed food.
It ruins the flow of the meal.
Waiting roughly 10 minutes allows the diners to settle into the meal, form an actual opinion, and clear their mouths.
It is the perfect operational window to step in with a brief, how is everything? Or is everything to your satisfaction?
It shows attentiveness without crossing the line into intrusion. And the language of clearing the table follows the exact same respectful principle.
Right. The phrases in the documents are, may I clear these plates? Or, are you finished? It is never a blunt, are you done eating?
Never. Asking, are you done, can sound like you are rushing them out the door to flip the table.
It feels dismissive.
Exactly. May I clear these plates? Seeks permission to enter their physical space and remove obstacles, maintaining that continuous thread of respect.
But let's be real, in the hospitality industry, things go wrong. A kitchen gets backed up, a dish is cold, or an actor just completely forgets their lines.
It happens every single night.
Which brings us to the final and arguably most important section of the documents, handling guest requests and service recovery. ภาษาที่ใช้รับมือในสถานการณ์ที่ตึงเครียดคือตัวชี้วัดความเป็นมืออาชีพที่แท้จริงเลยนะคะ
Absolutely. The true test of a server is how they handle the curveballs. The sources outline common, low-stakes requests first.
Things like asking for extra napkins, a takeaway box, a baby chair, or the Wi-Fi password.
The key here isn't just providing the physical item. It is the verbal cushion that accompanies it.
The verbal cushion. I like that. The suggested responses are things like, certainly, I'll bring it immediately, or I'll check that for you. Just a moment, please.
And I'll be happy to help.
It completely eliminates any friction. When a guest asks for a takeaway box and the server says, certainly, I'll prepare a takeaway box for you, the guest doesn't feel like they're being a burden.
Exactly. But what about when things actually break down? The service recovery section is fascinating.
This is where the language has to do the heavy lifting of emotional de-escalation.
It does. If a guest complains that their steak is cold, the phrases provided are not defensive. They are, I apologize for the inconvenience, and thank you for your patience.
And crucially, I'll take care of it immediately, or let me fix that for you.
Let's break that down, because there is a massive difference between those phrases and what people usually say in a panic.
ลองนึกภาพตามนะคะถ้าพนักงานเสิร์ฟทำอาหารมาผิดแล้วพูดแค่ Oh sorry สั้นๆสีหน้าลึกๆเทียบกับการที่พนักงานสบตาแล้วพูดด้วยน้ำเสียงหนักแน่นว่า I apologize for the inconvenience. Let me fix that for you right away.
The contrast is night and day.
The first one makes the diner nervous. They think, oh no, the staff is overwhelmed. The second one instantly diffuses the anger.
That is a perfect role play of the dynamic. If we analyze the psychology there, the word sorry is an expression of personal guilt. It is emotional.
It makes it about the server's feelings.
Exactly. But I apologize for the inconvenience is a professional acknowledgement that the system has failed, and it removes the personal emotional baggage from the table.
It is de-escalation through professionalism. เมื่อเกิดปัญหาสิ่งที่ลูกค้าต้องการไม่ใช่แค่คำขอโทษแต่คือการลงมือแก้ไขที่รวดเร็ว
Precisely. An apology without action is just an excuse. Following it immediately with, let me fix that for you, shifts the dynamic from a conflict back to hospitality.
It puts them back on the same team.
By using phrases that imply immediate action like, right away, the server takes full ownership of the problem. They become the guest's advocate rather than their adversary.
It is an incredibly powerful use of language to restore broken trust.
It really is.
It is incredible when you step back and look at the entire sequence. ภาพรวมตั้งแต่คำว่า welcome ในวินาทีแรกไปจนถึงการแก้ปัญหาด้วยคำว่า let me fix that for you.
It is a complete journey.
It proves that these short, practical English expressions aren't just polite filler words. They are highly engineered tools.
Tools designed for a very specific job.
Right. Every single phrase, whether it is describing a dish as served with seasonal vegetables to trigger the senses, or confirming an order with certainly to build trust, is a deliberate step in a very complex dance.